tags. We didn't get name
Get
tags.
cracking.
Yeah, that's right.
We didn't get name tags. Well, I thought that.
You can have here. You can have mine.
Let me know.
That's right.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Northport Municipal Election Forum. This is the second of two forums that are sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce of West Alabama. Last Thursday night, I hope some of you were here, we had a forum for the mayoral candidates and the District 1 candidates, and we're going to cover the other districts here today. The format will be very similar to the one we used last week. I do thank everybody for coming out. I know things are busy. This is a busy time of year. I know school started today for many of your children. The ground rules, we're going to give a minute and a half for each candidate to have an opening statement. Toward the end, we'll give them less than a minute to have a closing statement. We'll ask some questions in between the opening and closing statements. We're going to start alphabetic, and then we'll rotate the order of the candidates. We will not be asking questions from the floor. The questions that will be posed by a moderator have been put together by a group that cover topics of interest to the business community and the individual citizens of Northport. We're going to do the districts in order, starting with District 2, and it'll take about 15 minutes to do each district. So our moderator this evening, she also moderated the last forum, is someone who is not a stranger here in Northport. It's Ashley Gill, who is the owner of the Chick-fil-A in Northport. Those of you that don't know her should get to know her. So it's great quality, surpassed only by the great service that you get. She's been in the Northport area for 7 years as a business owner. She certainly understands working for the city, with the city from a business perspective. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Ashley, and she will moderate. I'll be the timekeeper, so those of you that are candidates, please keep an eye on the timer, which will be right over here to the right. And we'll try to stay on time. Thank you very much. Ashley Gill.
All right, we're excited to get started. This forum is not a debate where candidates address each other. Rather, it's each candidate will be questioned by me, the moderator, and should directly address the audience. And the candidates will each have 1 minute to answer each question. And Al will have the time right here on his iPad, so if y'all could please pay attention to that and be respectful when he says time so we can get this thing done by 7. Okay, and then we also ask that the candidates remain respectful of each other and avoid personal attacks. We're going to keep it positive. We're excited about that. Okay, so we are going to start with District 2. If I'm going to do it in alphabetical order, and then if you could just hang around kind of up here, that way we don't have a lot of time walking back and forth. But we're going to start with opening statements. You'll get a minute and a half, and he'll have that right there on the iPad. And we're going to start with Mr. Tyrone. You're ready. Come on up.
Thank you, ma'am. How y'all doing this evening? My name is Tyrone Alexander. I'm running for District 2 City Councilman. I graduated from Tuscaloosa County High and went to Alabama State. And I, first of all, just want to start by saying that if we want change in District 2, what we have to have is transparency. Right now, we don't have transparency. Right now, we don't know what's going on. We don't know where the money is. We don't know who's running what. So in doing that, we look at the administration, we look at the city council, and we look at the mayor. We can't get anything done with the mayor, the city council, and the administration being comfortable in the shoes they're in. In order to get something done, we have to have a new administration, new city officials, new mayor. We have to come in and revamp City Hall. When you walk in City Hall, you feel like a stranger. You feel like you've done something wrong when you come in here. So that's not how you should feel when you're the taxpayer. I mean, that's not the way it should go. And as far as, you know, as far as just transparency, it's goes way back 8 years ago when we supposedly had an 8-year plan that never developed.
Good evening. I'm Sean Blackburn, and I too am running for City Council for District 2. Some 12 years ago, when I moved back home, I moved directly into the neighborhood from which I grew up. I did so because I love my community, I love my district, and I love my city. I relegated myself to the sideline somewhat so I could take care of my aging parents. And I got to tell you that that experience and just having that opportunity for that short amount of time while they had those years together has been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. I just had to share that with you. But I relegated myself to the sideline, so to speak, but I was involved in planning and zoning and whatever other committees I could get involved in. But now I stand before you to tell you that I'm no longer going to sit back and stand by and watch my community continue to deteriorate, to watch my district and my city not recognize its full potential. You see, I truly believe that how goes District 2, so goes the city. Just look at where we're strategically located. We're parallel to the riverfront, parallel to Fifth, parallel to MLK, perpendicular to Bridge Avenue, Lurleen B. Wallace, and Main Street. There's no reason why we shouldn't be on the leading edge of economic development. There's no reason why we shouldn't be leading the way when it comes to quality of life opportunities. I tell you, when I take a look at our youth, you know, we should be doing more, in my opinion, to give them an opportunity. My time is up. I am the man to get the job done, Sean Blackburn.
Good evening. Councilor Jay Logan, City of Northport, and the reason I am running for re-election is simple: vision. And the reason I say vision is this. You hear a lot of statements on what we want to do and how we're going to go about doing it is different. To have a plan in place, to understand economically what do we need to do economically, to have a plan in service to service the quality of life, having a true plan to make that work, to having a true plan to make infrastructure work. Moving forward in the next 5 to 10 years, Northport will be part of the elite cities our size. And the only way we're moving forward doing that is to have someone with experience, the vision to see that in certain areas, especially District 2, we will set the tip up. But we have to be flexible in 1, business policies, 2, personnel and personalities, and 3, how we're perceived outside of City Hall. And that's got to be with the new leadership that I'm going to bring if reelected. Again, one thing to remember, business retention. Business retention in Northport has seen some gains. But moving forward, Northport now needs to look at being flexible in business recruitment. Understanding that you have to have sales tax to understand the quality of life and have monies available for it. But having a plan for quality of life in a community parks initiative, a business recruitment policy that's an incentive-based, and also putting forth a plan of action to make City Hall more accessible digitally and physically. Thank you.
Okay, now we're gonna have 3 questions. You'll all 3 answer the same 3 questions, so listen up when I ask the question so we can keep it moving. The first question is, it is a competitive playing field for cities. What can the city of Northport do to be more pro-business and competitive? How can the chamber and the business community help? And I'm gonna ask Mr. Sean to come up first.
I've given this some thought, and the first thing is a pro-business working relationship, of course, with chamber. And we also have the other business entities and third parties to assist us and help us and to work with us. I think the city of Northport is, once again, at its prime. It is a jewel. And we need to attract new businesses by way of recruitment, and we need to retain our existing businesses. We got to do more to assist and help our existing businesses. When I take a look at the chamber, I think we're underutilizing the chamber. We need to have them to assist us, to work with us, help us with recruitment, help us be able to take advantage of the developers that we do have and the relationships that they already have with other businesses so that we can bring them into the city. Again, I think we're poised, we are in a good posture, and I must admit that, you know, we've done a good job thus far with trying to recruit new businesses. We just need to stay steady, stay at it, and we probably need to develop some type of staff that is specifically geared towards the attraction of new businesses. I think once we do that, we'll be fine as a city.
All right, Jay.
Within the next 90 days of re-elected, with the chamber, with staff, I'm going to create a business improvement committee. That's members of the community who are proven developers and builders who have shown that they want to spend their monies in Northport. And then we're looking at policies and personalities and personnel. It's easy to have these things in place, but if we have the confidence of these developers and builders through our city hall, making it more flexible in terms of our policies. Because by the time they do business at City Hall, they've spent millions in soft costs. And every developer in here knows what I mean by soft costs. So when they have those soft costs already incurred on their end, it's our ability now to move forward with policies that are going to be flexible and at the same time create the environment to be successful in business retention and looking at those retail gaps that Northport has. We've got about 30 million retail gap in entertainment, 60 million in quality of life, and about another 40 in what I call secondary quality of life services in retail. So those retail gaps are there. Now we have to put some things in place to make those retail gaps reality and bring in business.
Well, all that's well and good, but in order to bring in new business, we have to stop with all the negative publicity that we're getting. If you read the newspaper, Northport is constantly in the newspaper. Downtown Northport, business owners are not happy. And also you have the levee project that's going on over there. So every time you look in the newspaper, we're in the negative. So how can you attract new business when you're in the negative? And we've been like this for the last 8 years. Now, if we built something, I don't know what it was. I know we built something in Tuscaloosa. Well, we have Tuscaloosa build here. So as long as we get negative publicity, then that means that we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. And as your city councilman, I guarantee you, I'll get down and work for you. I will go in there and do whatever needs to be done, administration, at whatever level, because something's not right. Something definitely not right. We're too negative.
Okay, our second question, addressing the city's finances. What specifically would you do to promote transparency and accountability? We're going to start with Jay.
Over the last 8 years, financially, Northport has been doing well. I think you can see that. Just in June, Standard & gave the city of Northport a AA- credit rating. Anybody knows what credit is? That's speaking to your financial stability and strength of your credit and borrowing power. Now, what we need to stop making the notion as if we're not in good financial shape. But here's what I'll do moving forward in the next 30 days. Create a financial transparency initiative where digitally we open the doors of City Hall, we have budgets, where money is being spent, and where it's consumer friendly, where people can pull this information readily available. But it goes back to infrastructure now. We're talking about the digital infrastructure that you're going to need. So to make this initiative happen, you're going to have to make sure that the infrastructure in terms of your IT and digital capabilities are such to where when you put this thing out, the public has the ability to see where monies are budgeted, where our bonds are, where our credit rating stands as of last month. And then you can constantly keep building on that. So that would be the first thing I do. Financial Transparency Initiative for Norfolk.
Addressing these finances, what specifically would you do to promote transparency?
Well, first of all, as far as transparency, I think this is the first time we heard of it tonight. All of a sudden now we want transparency, but the last 8 years we hadn't had any transparency. You don't know where your money went. If I'm in the office, I would let you know where every dollar is going. Whether it's roads, bridges, cities, schools, you would know every dollar that's leaving this city council. And for obstructing new business, that's fine. But we got to create something that want to bring new jobs here, that people want to see Northport in a light where they see Tuscaloosa, because Tuscaloosa is growing. I'm not sure what Jay is talking about, but there you have it.
I really don't think it's that difficult. I think what we need to do is let folks know what deficits are. We need to just be transparent. And when we have a city council meeting, we need a financial report. I don't know of any subcommittee that you guys have been in that when you meet, you don't have a treasury report. You know, we need to have a financial report every time we have a council meeting. We need to publish this information on our website. It wouldn't even hurt. And you know, the folks here, you get your water newsletters, it wouldn't hurt to have a note or a memo in there, just outlining real quickly, real briefly, the financial posture of the city. Hey, look, we just need to make this data available. We need to make it sensible so that you understand it. And we need to present it to you so that you can have easy access. I think if we do that, and we do it consistently, and everything adds up or subtracts up, then I think we'll be just fine. Thank you.
All right, the third and last question. What do you see as the most significant need in District 2? We're going to start with Tyrone.
I would say the most needs we have consist of infrastructure, like Jay says. Down there on my end by Matthews, it's poorly concentrated on, right now the grass is about 7 feet high. You got roads that need to be worked on. I mean, that's the elementary school. You want to take care of your kids. We had a caution sign that was knocked down 2 years ago. The little flashing sign that lets you know that the kids are coming across. It's been down for 2 years and it's still there. So it doesn't take that much to put a sign back up. So what I'm saying to you is, all this is well and good about the 8-year plan and all that, but when are you going to interact the 8-year plan or develop this or develop that? Because we haven't done anything on our end in 8 years, and we are the pillar of the community.
Sean,
when we look at need, I think that, especially maybe in my first 30 days in office, we need to really take a look at what we can do to restore the confidence of our leadership, of the confidence in day-to-day operations at City Hall. Right now, there seems to be some concern. So we need to take a look at our old and antiquated systems, whether it be water, whether it be sewer, whether it be our IT infrastructure. We need to take a look at how can we build in redundancies, how can we have some fail-safe measures in case things do go wrong. And as you know, they will. We need to have a communication plan so that when they do go wrong, everybody that needs to be informed is informed. And you're getting truthful, accurate information. Those are some of the things that we must do. And of course, always the business perspective. We have to recruit and retain our businesses, and we have to grow our city. Those are the primary issues we need to look at.
If allowed, actually, I want to give two main issues. District 2, again, there are two issues that are very important. Infrastructure in terms of roads. 1997, I was senior in high school. The MLK project was on the books. It's 2016. We're just starting this project simply because we got to a point where it went back and forth. But now we're to a point where in 2017, this project is a $10 million investment. That's going to open up for a proposed Hospital Drive extension, phase 1. What I'd like to do is, within the next 2 years, is to open up 3rd Street to Rice Mine. We're not going to stop there. In 2017, at Bridge Avenue and Rice Mine, we're going to remove those traffic lights, and you're going to see large traffic circles. That's an instant incentive to development on Bridge Avenue. So when a developer comes in, he's going to see that instant infrastructure that we've just put in at the tune of $5 million. And then quality of life in terms of a community parks initiative, where in District 2, all over, we're going to have a major green space or a park in every district of the city, starting with District 2.
All right, it is now time for closing statements. You'll get 45 seconds, which isn't much, so start talking quickly. We're going to start with Sean, and then Jay, and then Tyrone will bring up the rear there. Okay? So Sean, you come on ahead.
But let me get started talking. Again, thank you all for coming out. Thank you to the Chamber. The Martin Luther King project the monies have been available for 8 years. The park that was so influential to me, right up the street from which I live, the Haskell Center, is closed and inoperable. To me, that's a travesty. You know, what you will find in Sean Blackburn is a steady hand, and we will keep attention on everything it is that we need to in order for our city to grow. I can guarantee you that. Please come out, vote for me. Again, I'm the man to get the job done. Thank you.
If re-elected, folks, again, I go back to not saying what you want to do, but look at what you've done. And again, these projects, these road projects that I'm spinning out are in the works to be done. 2017 is going to be a magical year for District 2. But moving forward, the way we handle business moving forward, we're going to be out of the box. So if every developer is in here in the next 90 days, I look forward to seeing, talking, and understanding where we need to be in terms of our policies. Nothing's off the table. A tax incentive program will be in place, creating TIF districts. So if re-elected, you're going to see Northport start looking at true business and getting true players at the table to make District 2 happen. But you have to have someone with vision, someone who has experience, and someone who has a plan that actually has results. So again, thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, now we're going to start with District 3. We're going to do opening statements. Do you, there's 3 of you, is that correct? Do what? Oh, you didn't go yet. I'm so sorry. I'm just getting right past you. Come on up, Tyrone. I told you this was going to be fast.
We're doing okay. We're doing okay.
You get an extra 5 seconds.
Yeah, well, that's okay. But I want to get back to this 8-year plan. We're back to now he needs 2 more years. 8-year plan grows into a 12-year plan, and it's simply just not working. I will work hard for you as your city councilman. I guarantee you, I will fight City Hall for you. I've been doing that already. I do that on my own without having to call Jay Logan. I've never called Jay to handle anything in my district. I handle it myself. And I will fight just as hard for y'all as I do for me. But this 8-year plan has turned into a 12-year plan. Let's get somebody in office that's going to enact the plan. Y'all have a good night.
All right, now we're going to do District 3. If all 3 of you could, 3, right? 2? Okay, come on up. Thanks.
So it'll be faster.
Okay, good. So we're going to start with Rodney, and then Joe, and then y'all just stay here, that way you're not moving back and forth. So you get a minute and a half.
Ready? You're on the clock.
All right, good evening. I'm Rodney Sullivan. I'm running for Norfolk City Council District 3. I lived in Norfolk my entire life. I've attended all over Norfolk schools. I'm a graduate of Tuscaloosa County High School as well as the University of Alabama. I'm married to my wife, Lacey. I'll call her out real quick. We have 2 sons, a 4-year-old and a 2-month-old. So been quite busy in my house. And the real reason I'm running for office is, very simply, I just enjoy helping others. I enjoy being able to give back to the community. And this is a way I've found to do it. I'm very, very proud of the progress we've made in District 3 over the past 4 years. We've been able to get numerous projects started and completed. We've been able to help Fawcett Vestavia with very close to $30,000 worth of projects. If you go by there today, you'll see a nice digital message board. We were lucky enough to be able to secure the funds to get that done. So, I'm very proud of the things we have to do, we've done. We have a lot more work to do. Like I said, I'm very proud of the things we've been able to accomplish. One thing looking forward that I'm anxious about is the realignment of Highway 69 and Union Chapel. I think that's going to be a big benefit to the citizens as they travel. Certainly congested areas. So that's a major project we're certainly looking forward to. And like I said, overall, I just really enjoy giving back to the community. And I enjoy working one-on-one with the citizens to be able to help them get the best city services that they deserve. So, thank you.
Thank you. My name is Joe Willingham. I'm a retired lieutenant from Norfolk Fire and Rescue. I'm a 1986 graduate of Weston Christian High School. Lived in the city of Norfolk all my life. Married to my wife, Dana. I have 2 daughters and 1 son. The reason I'm running for council for District 3 simply because I believe you, the people, have lost all confidence with the decisions that have been made lately with our government. I plan to, if elected, bring back transparency, fiscal responsibility, and progression with our city. Thank you.
Okay, first question. It'll sound familiar. It is a competitive playing field for cities. What can the city of Northport do to be more pro-business and competitive? And how can the chamber and the business community help the city?
When I hear, become more pro-business, the first thing I think about is you have to have a pro-business attitude. Certainly within City Hall, it's certainly very important to have the mindset of wanting to go after new retail. It is very competitive these days. It's very tough to do. One thing you don't hear a lot about that it's not really a hot topic, but it's something very important that we need to address is plan some middle process when you come into City Hall. It's the process that the developer goes through in order to get his project down the line so it can be completed. We have some areas that need improvement, and it will be very beneficial to the overall citizens if we can find ways to cut the red tape to make that process a lot smoother. An example real quick is our building permits. It used to take 5 to 7 days to get a building permit. We've cut that down to 1. So that's the kind of progress we're looking for. We want to spread that throughout other areas of the city. So certainly looking forward to that. Thank you.
It's a competitive playing field for the cities. What can the city of Norfolk do to be more pro-business and competitive? How can the chamber see it?
I look forward to working with the Chamber of Commerce. I don't think that the current administration is actually using their expertise in bringing businesses to the city of Norfolk. However, if elected, what I do plan to do is go after a firm, or suggest that the city of Norfolk go after a firm that does nothing but recruit businesses for the city. Look at their track record, see what they've done for other businesses, to bring in businesses for the city of Norfolk. I think that's a good start in the direction we need to lead in. Second, I'm all for tax breaks, tax incentives. If you relocate or come build your business in the city of Norfolk. However, with that being said, I don't want to forget the small businesses. The businesses have been here in the city of Norfolk for 10, 20, 30 years. I think in some way they're entitled to a tax break or tax incentive themselves. after all, they've been here all these years, and they contributed largely to our tax base. I don't think there's enough emphasis on the small businesses here in North Port. Thank you.
Okay, addressing the city's finances, what specifically would you do to promote transparency and accountability? And we're going to let Joe go first this time.
Transparency and accountability. As I've said in the past, I believe because of decisions that have been made recently, we've read about it in the paper, the people and voters have all lost all confidence in the transparency within our city. And of course, on fiscal responsibility, folks, we're going to have to tighten our debt. Years ago, approximately 8 years ago, our debt ratio was $28.2 million. Our budget now is $60 million. We can't continue with this. I'm not a big fan of the perpetual water rate. It's in place now, 3.5%. It's been in place now for 8 years. Folks, your water bills went up 41%. Salaries now have increased in the city in the last 6 years. They're up 75%. If we don't control this spending, where's our city going to be in 8 years? I want to be the person that helps control it, stop it, or terminate it for the city, for our future. Thank you.
Several things we need to do to address the finances. The first thing I think is they need some technology updates and upgrades, which have been done. We are now running a new software system. The staff back there is slowly updating information. That's going to be very beneficial to all of us, because I think they need to be able to provide us either weekly or monthly statements on exactly where we are financially within the city. I think there's always room for progress in that area. You never want to be satisfied with where you are. You want to always strive to do better when it comes to finances. Another big thing that I'm going to strive to do very quickly is when I get back in office is put all this stuff online. The budget needs to be online. These updates, whether it's monthly or quarterly, need to be put online so we can have the citizens' input. We want you guys to be able to see everything that's going on, and you can relay information back to us. That's the best way we can make this as open as possible.
Okay, our third and final question, what do you see as the most significant need in District 3? And we'll start with Rod.
It's hard to narrow down just to one. Like I said a minute ago, for me, a big issue coming up is going to be the realignment of 69 and Union Chapel. As we stand today, the Tuscaloosa County Road Authority is funding that project. That funding will be available in January 17th. So we have an opportunity to really get that started and get that completed in this next term. And I'm really excited about the opportunity to be able to do that. We have numerous infrastructure issues. We've already began the process of solving some of those. They take time and money. It's just been a long process, but we've got it underway. We were able to work on a project in Vestavia that's sat idle for the last 15 years. We were able to get some minor work done, but nevertheless, we got something started. So I think the infrastructure and the roadway is something that we definitely want to look at, as well as the biggest paving project in District 3 right now is going to be Hunter Creek Road. It needs to be paved from 69 to 82. That's certainly something we're looking forward to getting done.
What do you see as
The most significant needs in District 3, first of all, I will agree with Councilman Sullivan on this, infrastructure for sure, the roads, water runoff. If elected your councilman for District 3, I plan to immediately assign a city engineer, have him go out, address the needs of the roads from worst to best, 1 through 10. That's something I look forward to. And also, as I've talked to some of you, you have concerns about wanting another red light on Highway 69 on the backside of Vestavia to alleviate the traffic problems early in the morning. I would like to have the opportunity to get with AlDOT and see if they can, if I can't make this happen for District 3. Thank you.
All right, closing statements, 45 seconds. We'll start with Joe.
Thank you. Once again, you've heard me say this before. I run on 3 key issues. It's transparency, fiscal responsibility, progression. Debt ratio in our city, like I said before, 8 years ago it was 27.2 million. Right now it's over 60 million. Folks, that's scary. Number 2, I do support a forensic audit and outside agency audit of our financial records. This motion has been made twice by Councilman Judy Hayes with no second. One audit It's your money, you deserve to know. I don't know if that's good or bad. Fiscal responsibility, we talked about that. Once again, I'm not fine. I want to look for ways to terminate the perpetual water rate, which is 3.5% every year. Once again, your water rates, folks, have went up 41% over the last 8 years. It's time to give the taxpayers a break. And finally, recruiting new businesses, I'm for 100% tax breaks. However, we can't forget about our small business owners. They deserve breaks too. Thank you.
Can you flip that? Thank you. I want to thank the Chamber for hosting this event. I greatly appreciate Ashley and the good job she's done. As a business owner in the community, I certainly appreciate that. I'll keep it short and simple. My slogan 4 years ago was working for you. It's the same slogan this term, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. It's exactly what I have done. I have a track record to prove it. It's been a very great experience for me to be able to help the citizens of Northport. I'm very proud to serve District 3. We've come a long way, and I'm very much looking forward to continuing to serve. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. All right, we are moving on. District 4. I can get Robbie and Casey to go ahead and come on up here. We're going to start with the opening statements where you get a minute and a half. And we're going to kind of switch back and forth between the two of you on who goes first. So we're going to start with Robbie.
Good evening, everyone. I am Robert Davis, and I am running for District 4. I was born and raised here in Northport. I have a wife, Tanya, she's in the back, and 2 kids, Hannah and Jamie. They've gone to county school systems. But, tonight, I want to talk about leadership. I've been a public servant here in Northport, this state, and this nation for over 34 years. 29 of those years, I've been in a leadership position. I've completed 4 different courses of leadership: advanced, basic, senior leadership course in the First Sergeant Academy at Fort Jackson. I spent hundreds of hours learning how to be a leader. Hundreds of hours making sure that I treat everyone right. All these courses teach you not only to be a leader in the military, but it also teaches you to be a leader in our community. I've served here in Northport during the, snow and storms in the 80s and 90s. Spent 18 days here in Northport, served in Tuscaloosa, not even going home. I served in Cameron, Louisiana for 6 weeks, serving the people after Hurricane Rita. Now what I want to do is make a difference here in Northport.
My name is Tracy Kelly, and I'm running for District 4 as well. We've been living in Northport since 2002, so for 14 years, this is what we've called our home. This is where our kids have been raised. They both went through the schools here in Northport. 2 of them graduated from County High, and the other is continuing on through that tradition. She's a 5th grader at Huntington Place Elementary. I work for Alabama Power Company. I've been employed there since 1999. I just celebrated my 17th anniversary there. I have a degree in business from the University of Alabama, and I'm currently pursuing my MBA from Samford University. So I have a strong background in business and a strong background in customer service. What I want to do for Northport is to change the culture here and make it more customer focused. Internal customers and external customers. That means that we're going to be concerned about the needs of our city hall, what's going on with our staff, and what's going on outside those doors. So I want that we are working for them and not for our own personal gain. So that's what I want to accomplish if I'm elected.
Okay, it's a competitive playing field for cities. What can the city of can Northport do to be more pro-business and competitive? And how can the chamber and the business community help the city? And Tracy.
I currently serve on the Planning and Zoning Commission for Northport. And one of the things that I think needs to be done is to streamline some of the processes that businesses and developers need to go through in order to establish a business or to develop in Northport. That process should be easy, it should be navigable, and they should know, businesses should know that City of Northport and the staff and the elected officials support them and they want them here. As far as the Chamber of Commerce, I think that relationship is very important to foster economic growth here in Northport. They have a lot of resources that we can tap into, and that we should really be diligent about working with them and utilizing the services that they provide.
Well, the city as a whole, it needs a vision, needs a mission statement, and operational guidelines. We also need to work hand in hand with Chamber of Commerce. We need to mend that relationship with them. I think the key to our success here in Northport is building that relationship and seeing how they can help us bring retail and commercial development to our community. I think as far as we need to start downtown Northport. That would be a good place to start, because when people come across the bridge, the first thing you see is downtown Northport. So if we can get something started downtown Northport, I think the rest of the city will grow.
Don't leave yet. Okay, next question. We're going to talk about money. Money, everybody's favorite subject. So, when it comes to the city's finances, what would you do to promote transparency and accountability?
Well, in today's city, it's fiscal transparency is lacking. The annual budget and audit, they're not available right now. They should be online, and they should have been readily available when the city council at the pre-council meeting told us prior to June 1st that it was going to be online. Not be online, excuse me, it's going to be available and complete. We don't have it yet. You know, we need to have, it needs to be available to have a copy. When a citizen comes up here, it should not be so hard to come up here and have to fill out paperwork just to get a copy of it. But fiscal transparency, our budgets, and our audits need to be readily available. Thank you.
Transparency, it's all about rebuilding the trust and confidence in what the city's doing. Transparency is going to be the venue that's going to happen. That's the way it needs to happen. I think that all the elected officials are responsible and should be held accountable for the city's finances. They need to be involved in and have oversight of the financial activities that are going on in our city. They've talked about reestablishing the monthly or the committees that will be involved in different aspects of the city. I hope that those are reestablished so that city council representatives are available to sit in on all those monthly meetings and understand firsthand what's going on. There are plenty of software programs available for immediate access to financial activities. I think that's something that we need to consider investing in or at least researching.
Okay, last question. When you think specifically about District 4, what would your priority be, your number one priority when you get reelected, or when you get elected? Sorry.
District 4 is a really good district in Northport. We have a lot of residential growth that has happened there and is continuing to happen in the northern part of our city. Traffic has always been a huge issue there. If you're drive in 8 a.m. traffic or 5 p.m. traffic, it's slow going. You don't go anywhere fast. Mid-Larry has just been completed, the widening Mid-Larry, so I'm curious to see how well that's accommodating the morning school traffic. 43 has just recently been resurfaced. That I was glad to see that happen. We also have some issues at 69 and Martin Road that I think are on tap to be addressed with a turn lane there. So once the traffic situation is improved, I think District 4 is in pretty good shape. And if anyone there has any other issues, I'd love to hear them.
That's basically the same thing that I have, with the 99% completion of Mid-Larry Road and the wearing surface on 43. I think we're in good shape on the west side of Mid-Larry and Mid-Larry. But what we need to do, 69, I know there's plans out there, is to put a through lane at Martin Road, because when I leave out of the neighborhood in the morning, sometimes traffic backs up not only on the southbound line, on the south entrance, but also on the north entrance. And with the turning lane going on Mid-Larry, that has alleviated a lot of that, but we still need a through lane at Mid-Larry, and the existing lane needs to be the turning lane on the Martin Road. And so if we were able to just keep going, I know it's going to bottleneck up at, when we get up to Charlie Shirley Road, that he's knocked that hill down. It's a dangerous intersection there at Charlie Shirley. And I haven't seen the plans for the Union Chapel intersection.
All right, well, closing statements, you're up first, 45 seconds.
Oh, gosh.
Have fun.
Well, hope you don't mind if I read this, but this was a sermon by Pastor Chris at Church of the Highlands on July 24th, and it meant a lot to me. And what he said, don't bellyache about the political situations. Why don't you, instead of being the recipient of what the world is dishing out to us, instead of letting the culture change right in front of our eyes, and Christians standing over the sidelines remain silent, only going to our churches and praying, why don't we make change? Why don't you stand up and say, no, we don't believe that, we don't want it that way. He said, then run for office, run for county board, run for mayor, run for city council. You are to influence the culture, not let it influence you. I want to be the difference maker.
I've touched on already that I think customer service is really important, and changing the focus from an internal focus to an external focus. But what you will get with me, you will not get anybody that's going to speak louder, that is going to work harder, and be more determined to make sure that your voice is represented at City Hall. Because I think that your voice, your needs, your desires, your wants are what should drive our city.
Okay, now we are going to move on to our final district, District 5. If you gentlemen want to join me up here at the podium. We're going to start with our opening statements. You get a minute and a half, and we're going to start off in alphabetical order by last name. So we'll start with Danny, and then Jeff, and then Dale. And I'll just let y'all run, boom, boom, boom. Minute and a half.
Hello, my name is Danny Higdon. I'm running for North Fork Council District 5. I'm a lifelong resident of North Fork. Went to Crestmont, North Fork Junior High, Tuscaloosa County High School, and I graduated from the University of Alabama in accounting. Been married 30 years to the former Mitzi Falcon. We have 3 sons, 2 grandchildren, and we expected 1 in September. I have over 14 years experience in municipal revenue. I actually started an audit program here at the City of North Fork where we audited businesses for municipal taxes. I have over 11 years experience in finances with the Tuscaloosa County Board of Education. I've developed budgets in excess of $180 million. I've worked with banks to get better deals for the county board. I've also been a member of the Alabama National Guard, and all of my time, except for 2 years, we're here in North Fork. My goals are fiscal stability and transparency. I want to see our reports posted online, our reports and our check register on a monthly basis. I want to see growth, especially in entertainment, upper scale restaurants, and new types of retail businesses. Also, I would like to review the water rate increases every year. I don't think we ought to go up on water just for the sake of going up every year. I'd also like to partner with Tuscaloosa County and also PARA to maybe develop additional parks in the city. And I'd also like to improve fire protection and better equip our police department. I think it's a shame we're having to do fundraisers to equip our police department at this time. Thank you.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for having me tonight. For the ones that don't know me, my name is Jeff Hogg. I'm married to my wife, Nicole, and we have 4 children. One is also here in the back, and she's probably been the baby that's been crying that you've heard, so I apologize. I'm a graduate of the University of Alabama with a degree in political science, and I work for the Pitts Agency in Tuscaloosa. Each election cycle, we see the same set of trends regarding our city. Of course, financial planning, economic development, water rates, and our police and fire safety are always hot topics. I am running for city council because I do not believe in broken promises or complacency. With your help, I would be honored to represent the citizens of District 5. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Dale Phillips, and I'm also a candidate for District 5. I'm a lifelong resident of Tuscaloosa County. I have 2 sons, adult sons, and I'm very proud of them. We here in Northport, as you've heard tonight from all these candidates about all the negativity, all the things that have gone wrong, look around at all the things that are going right. You have one of the best police departments, best fire departments in the state. We have some of the best road systems, however, they still need improvement. What the city of Northport needs, the city of Northport needs leadership. Sound, firm, confident leadership. Leadership that can make the hard decisions. Sometimes the hard decisions are not always the most popular decisions. The most popular decisions are not always the right decisions. We need leadership that makes the right decisions. The decisions that are best for the citizens of Northport and for the city of Northport. We've got a lot of projects coming up. Not all of them are in District 2. Not all of them are in District 5. The new council is going to have to decide what is best for the city. Get over the boundary lines. We have to address what is best for the city and move forward. The city of Northport has not reached its potential, and it has not reached its potential because of lack of leadership. Simple. We have the infrastructure in place. It needs to be improved. Thank you.
Okay, so what can the city of Northport do to be more pro-business and competitive? How can the chamber and the business community help? We're going to start with Jeff, and then Dale will be on deck.
First, I think we have to determine what we want the city of Northport to be. What do we have that is exclusive to us? These are all the questions that have to be answered. Determining a plan of action to identify prospective businesses and figuring out the underlying factor of what will make or break their decision to locate here is a key factor. Offering aggressive tax breaks, incentives are a must. However, listening individually to the needs of those prospective businesses are just as important. So with your help, and if I'm elected, we will work with the Chamber of Commerce and we will see the progression in Northport. Thank you.
The Chamber of Commerce must be and will be a vital part of the growth of Northport. First thing we have to do is we have to improve our image. Not our image to you as the citizen, but our image to the business owners, to the developers, to the outside new dollars that we need to attract. We don't need, we'll take any business we can get, but we need new dollar businesses. Businesses that do not already have a service here. The Chamber of Commerce must and will help the city of Northport to reinvent itself, reinvent its image to these people. We can partner, we must partner, work together to display ourselves as a city that wants business to come open here, not as a city that treats businesses as if it is an honor for us to let you do business in our city. We have to reinvent ourselves. We have to market ourselves as a friendly city to businesses.
My last year here in the city of Northport, I was working with the Chamber of Commerce on an online or one-stop shopping to help make it easier for the taxpayers to pay their taxes, whether it be business license or sales tax. I'd like to revive that program again to make it easier for the businesses to do that. I also would like to work with the developers to offer incentives, not only for the businesses, but also for the developers when they bring in new businesses. A lot of times we offer incentives just for that new business coming in. And as far as incentives, I think we should only offer incentives only on new types of business. When you do incentives for businesses, the types that are already here, you're not increasing the sales tax dollars. All you're doing is spreading the dollars from store A to store B, and you're not helping the city at all. By bringing in new types of businesses such as a movie theater or an upper scale restaurant, you're bringing in new dollars to the city that weren't already here, that were actually going over to the city of Tuscaloosa.
Okay, as we talk about the city's finances, what would you do to promote transparency and accountability? We're going to start with Dale, and then Danny will be next, and Jeff.
Transparency and accountability is a must. The people, the citizens want that. The city must provide it. There are already things in place that provide a lot of this information. However, it is, in some cases, hard to get to. We need to have all of our budgets on a website. We need to be able to provide that information to you. I believe Mr. Blackburn also said about putting information in newsletters going out. Anything that can provide you that information. But keep in mind, transparency is only as good as the people receiving it. You have to want to receive that information. It's there. Mind you, we need to change our procedures to make it easier for you to get. But the information is there. Also, we need to change the way the city council meetings are held. Too much goes on in the pre-council meetings. That needs to be changed. It needs to be addressed, and a lot more decisions made in open council meetings in the council chamber.
I'm a firm believer of financial records being transparent. I do it every month with the County Board of Education. You can go online right now where you're sitting and you can look at our financial report for the last month. It's not that difficult. If somebody like me that has trouble loading apps on their cell phone can do it, all it takes is an Excel format and a PDF. It is that simple to do it. You can do it very, very simply. Again, if someone like me can load a PDF on a website, then a technology person surely can. And I agree, we do need to have the pre-council meetings open. I'm for doing away with them and to conduct all the business out and open for everybody to see, not just for a select few.
Whether it be to restore confidence in our citizens' perception or as an introduction to our newly elected council, a forensic audit is a must. Then I think we would have to listen to the citizens on what types of information they would like to have access to, and discuss these items with the city attorney regarding what information could be shared or transparent. Of course, there will always be some information that is private, such as individual city workers' payroll, etc. But once we have determined and drilled down to the exact information that the cities are requesting to see, we can then put a proper plan in place to achieve these goals that are satisfactory to all parties involved. Thank you.
Okay, our last question. What do you see as the most significant need in District 5? We're going to start with Danny, and then we're going to go Jeff, Dale.
Like musical chairs up here.
You know, we still have some dirt roads in 5. I was on one yesterday. Those need to be addressed. We have open culverts in the Buckhead area. I know when I was out campaigning, a very hard storm came up. just about thought we were all going to get flooded away with COVID. So those are the areas we need to address. Again, business development along Highway 43. I think that's a jewel that needs to be tapped. We haven't been able to do so yet. And that's one of the areas I'd like to see grow.
Well, exactly. Infrastructure is always a huge topic. We have a lot of different drainage issues in District 5 that need to be corrected. But I think, and Danny touched on this, is concerning the city's economic and retail development. It's no secret that there are plenty of areas for economic growth in District 5. Our leadership must come together to form a lucrative plan that will entice new business and retail development in our area. The citizens of Northport not only want a place to raise their family, but they also want to have a place to shop, to dine, to entertain. These are all attainable if our elected officials will use tax incentives and put forth a little bit of elbow grease going forward. Companies have a choice where to conduct their business. It is up to us to make them want to choose Northport. Our city council carries the responsibility to grow Northport, and I personally want to make it better for future generations to come.
Do that by
Go see him in District 5.
Yeah, Danny got me out. Yeah, we messed up. Danny touched on something that's very true. We still have dirt roads in District 5. Still have bridges that are wooden in District 5 that are liabilities to the city. Those are just one example of things that have to be addressed. And I use the term have to be addressed because I also use that L word, liability. Those are things that the city has let go and lacked. And we now have to face those issues and move forward. So when you talk about infrastructure, those are those need issues that I talked about earlier. We would all like to have certain things done. Likes and needs have to be examined. And as he brought up, and I agree with, we have some needs that really have to be addressed. And unfortunately, District 5 has more of those. District 5 also has the largest road project that we're going to have to address in any district, that being Rose Boulevard repavement coming up in the next future, near future. Thank you.
Hey, we're now at the closing statements. You each get 45 seconds to make your closing statements. We're going to start with Jeff, and then Dale, and then Danny. Don't let Dale forget.
As for closing statements, if you've heard my daughter in the background, I think she's wanting me to say the blessing. So, but I'll keep this short and sweet. As I said before, our city council carries the responsibility to grow Northport. And also, as I stated earlier, I do not believe in broken promises or complacency. If elected, this will not happen. In less than 2 weeks, Northport will choose the next set of leaders for our city. Come August 23rd, I will appreciate your vote as we grow Northport and make it better than we found it. Thank you.
Boy, he starts that clock quick there. As your city council person for District 5, I will bring to the city council leadership, stern leadership, open leadership. I will make the decisions that are best for the people and best for the city. I will make the hard decisions. I will make the right decisions, not based on popularity. The one thing I will also bring is we have noticed in the last few months that we haven't had a lot of here in Northport, is I promise you, I will stand with every decision I make, good or bad. I will make it openly. You will know that I made it, and you will know where I stand on it. That is leadership, and that's what the city of Northport needs. That's what it's lacking, and that's why the city has not moved forward from where it is. Thank you. Don't forget that.
I've gotten to know, and for lack of a better term, my opponents. I've enjoyed meeting them over the last few months. campaigning against them. They're good men. But what separates me from them and a lot of the others is my financial background. Over 25 years experience in government, from working here at the city of Northport to my time out at Tuscaloosa County Board of Education. And I think we need some good financial decisions being made at the city of Northport. Thank you. I appreciate the support.
Okay, if y'all could join me in thanking all of these candidates. It takes courage and a sincere service to put yourself before the voters. And a reminder that the candidates did respond to a written survey from the chamber, and you can access those on the chamber's website. If you'll just go to Google and just type in Chamber of Commerce Northport, Alabama, you can find those. This concludes our candidate forums hosted by the Chamber of Commerce, and you have a chance to hear the candidates again at the League of Women Voters Forum next Tuesday, August 16th from 6:30 to 7:30. And most importantly, don't forget to get out and vote on August 23rd, and tell all your neighbors and your friends to get out and vote too. Thank you and good night.